The price you see on your screen right now is a highly calculated lie. Whether you are looking at a flight, a hotel room, or a piece of software, the initial number you are shown is rarely the true cost of the item. You have likely experienced this directly. You check the price of a flight or a rideshare, hesitate, and close the app. When you check again an hour later, the price has gone up. The natural assumption is that you are participating in a standard market. You think other people are booking those same seats, and the rising price simply reflects an organic spike in demand. In reality, the platform has simply logged your return. By recognizing that you are checking the same item twice, the algorithm tests a higher price point to see if your intent to buy has stayed the same. The usual advice for getting around this is to clear your internet cookies or switch to incognito mode. But if you try that today, you will often find the price stays exactly where it was. This implies the platform isn't just following your search history through a browser file. It is recognizing your presence through a different, more persistent set of markers. Digital retail has shifted away from a single universal price. Instead, the cost of an item is increasingly determined by the specific behavioral profile you leave behind as you browse.
To pull this off, modern tracking systems have entirely bypassed software. They no longer care about the browser you use, they are monitoring your physical hardware. E-commerce platforms now rely on a technical mechanism known as device fingerprinting to identify returning users. The system ignores hidden network data like an IP address, instead extracting a unique profile based on your hardware configuration. It then combines that fixed profile with real-time behavioral metrics, measuring your scroll speed and logging every micro-hesitation of your cursor. Your physical hesitation is fed into a pricing engine. The algorithm uses that slight pause as a data point to calculate the likelihood that you are ready to make a purchase. But there is one hardware metric these algorithms monitor that is far more invasive than how fast you scroll. They check your device's exact battery percentage. As the battery percentage declines, the price markup line surges. A critically low battery signals high urgency, read as sheer desperation. If your battery hits 5% while searching for rideshare, the algorithm instantly applies massive markups, sometimes up to 40%. This entire system of calculated exploitation is called the dynamic pricing trap. These algorithms do not price services based on their intrinsic value or operating costs. Instead, they price you based on your current hardware condition.
They calculate the final number based entirely on your measured vulnerability in that exact moment. Surviving this ecosystem requires a complete shift in tactics. You have to become effectively invisible to the pricing engine. Simply trying to hide your identity is impossible. Instead, you have to actively force the server to view you as a blank slate, zero-intent buyer every single time you connect. This is achieved by implementing a specific network and browser configuration that isolates your hardware signals from the outgoing data request. This diagram shows the data stream in action. This setup acts as a digital filter that actively strips away your behavioral footprint, catching the battery data and scroll speed indicators before that information can ever reach the e-commerce. Once the connection is stripped of these behavioral markers, the algorithm loses its leverage. The server can no longer anchor you to past searches, and it cannot detect any physical urgency. Deprived of your behavioral footprint, the algorithm is forced to default. It has to display the actual, uninflated baseline price. Decoupling your behavioral data from your digital identity is the only remaining way to permanently opt out of the dynamic urgency tax. It strips the algorithm of its power.